If you're thinking about using DistroKid to release your music because you've seen ads for it on TikTok or YouTube or something, or heard someone mention how cheap it is to get started, you're not alone. And listen, I've used them for years to release my music too. But what if I told you that low upfront cost that they're famous for can end up being a very expensive long-term decision, and that there is a far better option out there? In this video, I'm diving into DistroKid versus LANDR, two of the biggest indie music distribution companies out there, to figure out which one actually gives you more value for your money over time. And this has been a bit of an eye-opener for me, to say the least. Alright, here's how we're going to break this down. I'm going to look at how much it costs to release a single and multiple releases over time, using both platforms. Because, let's be honest, nobody wants to just drop one release and then disappear forever. You're probably in this for the long game, and that's where the differences between these two services really become apparent. Alright, so let's get started with the base cost for both platforms. DistroKid first. Yes, their base plan starts at $22.99 per year. Like I said, it's what they're famous for. But here's where the add-ons start piling up, and up, and up. Do you want your music to stay up on streaming platforms if you cancel your DistroKid subscription? That's an extra $29 per single or $49 per album. Do you want YouTube Content ID to stop unscrupulous types uploading your music to YouTube? That's $4.95 a year per track. Do you want your fans to be able to find your music on Shazam? That's another 99 cents per song per year. Do you want your songs to be added to new DSPs like TikTok Music or future streaming platforms as DistroKid adds them? That's another $7.95 per year. And none of that is in that initial base plan. LANDR Distribution Pro comes in at $44.99 per year, and that gives you unlimited releases and, most importantly, all of the features you might actually need. For example, your music stays online even if you cancel your subscription. YouTube Content ID is included in that price, as is Shazam and Discovery features, plus your songs being added to future streaming services is automatically included too. All of that for that initial $44.99 with no extra fees. Alright, so let's get stuck into some real world examples then. Say you want to release a single, for example. With LANDR, it's that $44.99 a year price. That's it, that one price, and everything we talked about is included. With DistroKid, well, let's break it down then. So you've got your base fee of $22.99. If you want your music to be available on streaming platforms if you cancel your subscription, you'll have to choose the Leave a Legacy option, which is another $29. YouTube Content ID is $4.95, plus they'll take 20% of any platform ad revenue. Your Shazam and discoverability stuff is 99 cents. And to have your single added to any future streaming services that are added will cost you $7.95. That comes to $65.88 for one single. And remember, if you don't select that Leave a Legacy option, your song will just disappear if you cancel your DistroKid subscription. I was working through all these extra costs and had to double check my adding up. I mean, maths isn't my strong suit anyway, and it just blows my mind how much extra this is costing DistroKid users. Alright, so let's take it a step further. Let's say you're actively releasing music. Let's say 5 singles and 3 albums over 5 years. With that LANDR Distribution Pro subscription, you're looking at that single fixed cost of $44.99 per year. That's $224.95 over 5 years. And now if we calculate DistroKid with all of the equivalent add-ons over the same time period, the base plan over 5 years will cost you $114.95. The Leave a Legacy option selected for those releases will cost you $292. YouTube Content ID will cost you $348, plus they'll take 20% of any ad revenue made. The Shazam and Discovery stuff costs $173, and adding your releases to any future streaming platforms will cost you $310. That's a massive difference. $1,237 over 5 years with DistroKid versus $224.95 with LANDR. You could buy a decent microphone, interface, whatever you want really, with the almost $1,000 worth of savings you'd make by going with LANDR. That's mental. So if, like I was, you're looking at these numbers and thinking, why would I want to stick with DistroKid when I could save myself loads of money? But what about all of my existing releases on DistroKid? I don't want to lose all my playlist placements or play counts. Well, LANDR have thought about that too. They've built a free release importer tool that lets you move your catalogue over from DistroKid. All you have to do is paste your existing Spotify or Apple Music release URL into LANDR, upload your audio files and complete any missing metadata, hit submit, and once it's live, you can just take down the old version, and your streams, playlists, and stats will stay intact. I'm in the process of doing this right now actually, and it is pretty straightforward. For a very long time, I thought that DistroKid was the most affordable online distributor out there, and I was happy to recommend them based on that fact. But once you start adding the features every serious artist needs, the cost really starts to balloon. With LANDR, you get everything up front: YouTube monetization, future-proof delivery, Shazam and Discovery, cover licensing even, and premium support, without getting nickel and dimed every step of the way. Like I said, I'm now in the process of moving my entire catalogue over to LANDR, and I'd highly recommend that anyone who's sick of paying DistroKid's hidden fees do the same. Let me know in the comments what your experiences, negative or positive, have been with either of these online distributors. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like and the bell and all that YouTube stuff while you're down there. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.